Kibbutz Lotan is an ecological man-made miracle in the desert. It is located in the southeastern part of Israel in the Arava Desert. Together with a cluster of 7 other kibbutzim, it is proof that one can not only survive, but one can also thrive in the desert. As I said in the previous episode, the Arava is a dry, arid valley. Apart from heavy winter flash floods, there are no major sources of fresh water for irrigation or drinking water. But those winter rains quickly run off. It has always been a barren, dry, stony desert. That is, until Israelis came here in the 1950s. They saw the potential, but without fresh water, nothing could be done. However, Israeli resourcefulness and technology changed all of that. They have made the desert bloom. Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ivry, if you haven't been here before, and I show you everything in Israel about kibbutzim, about the war that's going on now, and many other things. Now, today, it's very special. I'm on an ecological tour of the Negev desert in Israel and of the Arava. I'm sitting here with Mike, my friend, and we haven't met for 37 years. I was an envoy for the Reformed Synagogues of Great Britain and the youth movement. And in my own small way, I helped Mike come out here, and using his talents and his educational experience as a furniture designer and everything else, his creativity. And he was the guy who set up this ecological construction and then the seminar center. So tell me, Mike, you have to be a very special character to live out here in Lotan.
True, Lotan is in the southern Arava. It's almost the southernmost tip of Israel. We're 35 minutes from Eilat, so it is hyper arid. We get rain 5 times a year. Super hot in the summer, but the truth is I love it. It's the Garden of Eden.
Well,
it's the opposite of England, where here there's sun every day of the year.
Remember that, folks, the Garden of Eden in the very dry and very hot in summer Arava Valley, which I said is the northern end of the Afro-Syrian rift. And Mike is definitely a very special person. So tell me very quickly, because we're here on the group tour, how many members live here in Lotan?
Not enough.
Not enough. Okay, did you hear that, folks? We want people to come here and be part of this ecological and communal and cooperative lifestyle. Okay. Wait a minute. All right, we'll get back to it. Where was it? Camera. Yeah, number. Okay. Hopefully that will be in. So tell me, you said there are not enough members here. How many members are there altogether?
So we're about 60 members. We're about 150 adults, including people who live here, volunteers, people before the army and stuff like that. About 50, 60 kids. But we're looking for young families, really, to come join the kibbutz.
Okay, well, hopefully my channel will be able to interest some people abroad. Okay, and tell me about the economy of the kibbutz. Well, you have this educational center about the ecological structures and everything else. As a group, you have cow sheds. Do you make money actually from direct sales of your agricultural products?
Our date plantation is a cooperative in the area, so it all goes to one date packing factory, and then it gets sent abroad. So we don't sell directly to the customers. We do have some organic dates that we grow in our eco campus.
The
so
Majol dates.
Yes, the Majol.
Very, very tasty.
Yeah, they're sort of like nature's candy, I call them.
Yeah.
So we do sell them directly, and they're organic.
I see. So how do all of the individual members of the kibbutz earn their livelihoods?
So around about 10 years ago, we did privatize from the point of view of now we have differential wages. Before, we basically got the same allowance every month. And the truth is, I love that way of life. It was very sad for me
Well,
to
that's
change.
what you came here for.
True, but now looking back, it was actually a good decision to change. Now I think there's a lot more freedom. There's more happiness between the people, I think. There's a real... We'd still do everything. We still have so many things we do together, especially culturally.
Mm-hmm. So you have a very full communal and cultural life. But so where do the majority of members work? Do they work in the kibbutz or outside or in professions or what?
So I guess most would be in professions, if it's in the regional council or the local school or in Elat. Some people work from home. Some people do work on the different work branches on the kibbutz. There's definitely work in the area, I think. Yeah.
I see. So here in the southern part of the Arava Rift Valley, there are a string of kibbutzim. Your neighbouring kibbutz is the other first reform kibbutz, Yahel. And further down there's kibbutz Grofit. And which other kibbutzim?
Yes, Kibbutz Ktura, Yotvata, very famous for its chocolate milk.
Oh yes. Would you imagine that, folks? In the middle of the desert, they have a milk and dairy industry which produces milk and milk products and dairy products sold and marketed throughout Israel.
Thanks to the refrigerative truck.
I see.
Because once upon a time, that was the most amazing thing you could do. On the way to Elat or Sinai, you'd stop at Kibbutz Yotvata and you'd buy some chocolate and milk. Now you can buy it anywhere in Israel. So it's
And
less
some
about
ice cream as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. Well, in a nutshell, what would you say is the future of a Kibbutz Lotan, and particularly from the communal aspect and from the ecological aspect?
Wow.
I deliberately ask very tough questions. How do you see everything developing here?
Well, we're constantly growing, which is wonderful. So there's new blood, fantastic, wonderful people coming to live in the kibbutz and also in this area. We think that this is the center of Israel. We're in the south, in the middle of nowhere.
It's the center for you. It's not so much the center for me. Where I live is the center. But, folks, this guy, Mike, is remarkable. He came here as a young man in his 20s. I knew him in England when I was an envoy for the Kibbutz movement, working with the Reform synagogues of Great Britain and the youth movement, which is called the Reform Synagogue Youth. And here he is now. He's made a life for himself in the desert, and I can see that the group is moving on. So, and here he is. He's not a bachelor anymore. He's married. He's got 3 kids.
So one thing I would like to say is, check out our website, kibbutzlotan.com, because there you can see what educational programs are going on here. We do amazing long-term educational programs where you can come for 1 month and live here and really live what you learn.
Okay, so yes, you follow us as the cameraman. Well, look, folks, I've really enjoyed this brief visit, and Mark, who's now holding the camera, I didn't tell you that my son lived here for 2.5 years, till about 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, with his wife.
Who's that?
Anyway, so look, this is a marvelous occasion for me, both to see Lotan, to see what they're doing here is a miracle in the desert. And to meet my pal Mike. This is just wonderful. Mark is explaining the whole variety of crops, plants and flowers that have been cultivated here. Aloe vera, fruit trees, date palms that naturally thrive in this heat, but also other crops that are native to cooler zones such as kale and cabbages of northern Europe and temperate climates. The summer temperature in this valley, which is below sea level, rises to the high 30 degrees Celsius. There are many days when it reaches well over 40 degrees. It's literally an oven here in the summer, a real scorcher, and yet Thriving agriculture has been established here. Kibbutz Lotan, just down the road, even established a very successful dairy farm here. So, how did they do it? Israel solved the water problem by constructing large solar energy farms and desalination plants. These projects have enabled the kibbutzim and the moshavim to establish varied types of farming. There are thousands of these date palm trees scattered at intervals along the valley. And just consider this, each palm tree needs 1,000 litres of water every day. And here we are in Kibbutz Lotan, a miracle in the desert. Can you believe it? Look at the greenery, the plants, the trees, all irrigated by recycled wastewater. These pioneers here have made the desert bloom, and even more than that. They have an ecological construction and conservation project. Mark demonstrates how mud and straw are made into building bricks. You can even try this for yourself. The bricks are bonded together to build walls and sustainable water-resistant buildings. Let's say that these ecological construction pioneers have a secret formula for using the natural resources available. However, you too can learn this formula if you attend the seminars here. You can get your hands dirty and feel your own creativity. Wandering around this site, you can see what they have achieved. We enter a large building. This is the Auditorium Seminar Center. It's not just a building, it's also a piece of art. Inside, wall decorations and murals add the personal touch. Creativity at its best. Something made out of nothing. Just using natural resources and imagination. My old friend Mike Kaplan had qualified as a furniture designer in England before he came here in 1987. That was when Kibbutz Lotan was only 2 years old. It had been founded as the second kibbutz of the Reformed Jewish community. The first one of that progressive Jewish movement was Yahel, just down the road. Before that, it was just a barren desert here in the Arava Valley. Both Yahel and Lotan were founded as modern and progressive religious communities. However, they attracted others who were drawn by the lure of the desert, people who wanted a different lifestyle. As Mike and I had agreed, you have to be special to live here. If you have that dream, why not try it here? You have nothing to lose. Mike was the inspiration and moving force behind what we see here. He initiated construction using the natural resources of mud and straw. His dream was the second stage after the first stage of settling the desert by the kibbutz. Mike had both the imagination and the practical skills to go one step further. Other people, like Mark from Australia, came on board. In a way, you can describe it as reverse engineering or a return to low tech, back to the future, back to nature. But unlike the ancient Essenes of 2,000 years ago, Lotan was not a monastical sect seeking isolationism. It is a vibrant, growing community. It is committed to creativity in a communal setting. It has a value system. They believe in democracy and social justice. They believe in humanity, self-help, and being rooted in nature. Where else can you breathe such pure, unpolluted air? Where else can you feel at one with Mother Earth? This return to nature has a seminar center where Mike and his team welcome guests who are taught ecological construction. Look at this room where seminar students can stay. It's a cool, air-conditioned room. It is waiting for anyone who feels they want a completely different experience. We are all so busy in our own careers and professions that we sometimes miss out on the sheer joy of experiencing something new. So I say, contact Mike Kaplan at Kibbutz Lotan. Take a break. Come out here and do something different. Feel free and relaxed. It's a completely different atmosphere. Forget the stress of your normal life. Take a break. Do something different. Expand your horizons. Give your mind and soul a mental spa. As a former student at Manchester University College of Education, I remember reading a book called Mental Health as an Educational Aim. Come to Lotan and experience what this really means. It's not for everyone, but it could be for you. Well, that's it for now, folks. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give a thumbs up, write a comment and share on your social media. Bye for now, shalom and lehitraot.
שמה לפני 25-30 שנה היה מדבר לגמרי, היה ריק לחלוטין, רק היה את עץ שיטה שהיה שם לפנינו, הכל היה חול.